Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Won Super Bowl MVP.
Major talk about this one.
Second time a wide receiver has won the MVP of the Super Bowl in just a few years. What, in three Super Bowls?
Mm-hmm.
So what, Julian Edelman won it. That was 2018. This was 2021. So, yeah.
Yep.
Do you agree with Cooper Kupp as the MVP?
Well, y'all know I'm not simple, so I have to say yes and no for this one because this Super Bowl did really come down, in my opinion, to just a few key moments. And when you talk about one of those key points of the biggest NFL game of the year, you can't not look at the guy who was given Super Bowl MVP in Cooper Kupp. He was a monster, really, in a game where no offense went down, really. Yeah, the Rams jumped out, and I was kind of thinking there, okay, if they don't, if Cincinnati doesn't make a small push here, the Rams are going to run away with this football game. But then things slowed up. We didn't see a lot of Cooper Kupp, really. We didn't see a lot of offensive production at all. But when that last 15-play drive came down to it, Cooper Kupp was targeted 7 times, if I'm not mistaken. He either caught the target or was called for pass interference on him. So he literally produced for most of the offense, for at least half of the offense on the final drive, for definitely all of the passing attempts on the final drive. And you could tell at big points in the game where Stafford needed a completion, you knew the Rams needed to make a conversion. That is when Cooper Kupp was there. 2 touchdowns in a game where you only accounted really for a few in general. Both great touchdown catches as well. So I can't take it away from Cooper Kupp, but you also can't take away from the fact that the last person to win a Super Bowl MVP as a defensive player was Von Miller, who is now playing next to Aaron Donald, who a lot of people said, Aaron Donald should have got the Super Bowl MVP. And what's crazy enough is 2 sacks and 3 major quarterback hits from Von Miller back in Super Bowl 50 on Cam Newton was enough to take it home. Aaron Donald literally mimicked those same numbers and was raising hell again in the backfield within the trenches every single play in Super Bowl 56 against the Bengals and didn't get, I'm not going to say he got robbed of it, but the fact that the last play alone, right, the last,
half sacks. He had just a little bit more.
2.5. Is that what you said?
Von had 2.5.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. But just looking at like the last play itself, like that's for all the marbles. The Bengals either convert and maybe go on and kick a field goal, or they obviously get stopped like they did. Turnover on downs. Aaron Donald, and we all saw the replay. Aaron Donald was not going to be stopped on that play. I'm not going to say he won the Super Bowl for the Rams, but he took that moment for LA as their best player and won them the championship at that time. So I give respect to Cooper Kupp, but for me to say that it was 100% rightfully to him or Aaron Donald, I can't sit on that. I would have to lean AD, though, if I was a voter in the time. And I get it, premium offense, but Aaron Donald, like you said it, Joe Burrow was trying to throw at everybody, but when Aaron Donald was in the backfield, it was not the same story. So probably got to lean AD for this one.
Yeah, I teeter back and forth on this. Initially, I was like, man, how in the hell did he actually win that award? I'm like, usually if the wide receiver wins it, it's like, why didn't the quarterback win it? Who was throwing him the ball? Because the quarterback usually wins it. And then we saw what Aaron Donald did. But now we look at it. Aaron Donald had 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits. Von Miller had 2 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits, and 1 pass defended. Ernest Jones had 7 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits, 1 pass defended. They nullified each other.
Right.
If any one of them had had any more of those plays, then individually one of those defensive players would have gotten the MVP. If they could have given the MVP to the Rams defense, then I think they could have done that. But then when you look to the other side of the ball, now you're looking quarterback versus his own wide receiver.
Right.
Cooper Kupp had 8 receptions on 10 targets, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. 37 of those 92 yards were after the catch.
Yep.
So, it wasn't actually Matt Stafford even finding him like that. So, I was like, I had to look through and try to figure out, well, how didn't Stafford win it? He threw for 3 touchdowns. He threw for 283 yards. It's like he had pretty decent stats, but a hefty percentage of his yards were straight yak.
Yeah.
And it was Cooper Kupp doing it.
Right.
So, when you look at it from that aspect, 2 of the touchdowns, and they only scored 23 points in a game. It's like, Cooper Kupp actually was, he was the default winner because all the defensive players nullified themselves. Not a single running back did anything worth mentioning. And Matt Stafford's, his numbers look better than what his actual game was. Those 2 interceptions could have easily cost him that football game.
Right.
The no-look pass, that's what everybody's talking about. That was amazing. But outside of that, What else did he do that was amazing?
Right.
I mean, it probably would have actually been Odell Beckham Jr. to get the MVP if he had not gone out.
Yeah, he was on his way. He was definitely on his way. He was getting involved early and often, and he was taking a lot of attention away from Cooper Kupp.
He looked like New York Odell.
Yeah.
He looked real fast. Routes were crisp. It's like he came to play.
Yep.
It really sucked that he got hurt.
Right. We were kind of getting that vintage OBJ kind of feel back. Like, this is the OBJ we've all talked about, even though he's been absent for about 3 seasons.
Like he looked like the guy that can't be covered.
Right.